If I were to create a podcast, it would be called Mickey Mouse in the White House. I would provide a Disney framework to politics and examine the political implications of Disney's messages. What makes me credible? I can't give you any more than I'm a lifelong Disney fanatic and a political news junkie. I would tackle a different political topic every day. If you want a dose of Disney culture and a dose of political news, this would be the podcast for you. Now, what does this mean? I know it's kind of confusing. Well, how would Princess Tiana react to legislation about small businesses? How would The Little Mermaid, Moana, or Simba advocate for a greener and more sustainable future? I would have self-proclaimed Disnerds, that's Disney nerds, come on the show and maybe talk to political experts about how logical solutions sprinkled in with a little pixie dust can make the world a better place. Maybe a little hope and imagination is what we need on the Capitol Hill. I don't know. These conversations would be fun, classy, and tasteful. And of course, what would a political podcast be without a little satire? These two worlds, politics and Disney, cross over more than some may realize. Take the live-action Mulan movie coming out. An all-Asian cast that pushes against the whitewashing culture of Hollywood. That's how these two worlds connect. So if these worlds interact, why aren't we talking about it? So this podcast is different. It's quirky, but it's also relevant. There are actually a decent number of Disney podcasts out there. However, Disney is this huge corporation. There are Disney podcasts about the theme parks, Walt Disney World and Disneyland, Disney film reviews. There are multiple podcasts about the theme parks, in fact, about the events and what goes on and what goes into planning a trip. However, there are three that kind of align with what I want to do. So the Unofficial Guide's Disney Dish with Jim Hill is one example. Jim Hill is a Disney insider. He seems to know a lot about Disney and what Disney is doing before anyone else does. He is a writer, and best of all, he is a Disney historian, which would lend a lot of knowledge to his podcast. Inside the Mouse Castle, Disney News Information Commentary is another podcast. It also shares news. However, most of its news is about the entertainment monopoly Disney, with Disney Studios, Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, Disney Publishing, and the ABC TV group. There's also a lot of good stuff in here. Third, Castle to Castle, A Tale of Two Disnerds, is an inspirational, international, intersectional Disney podcast. This follows Disney fans through their fandom, while examining issues of representation and holds Disney to high socio-cultural standards. The website of the podcast also says, if you're a Disney fan who identifies as an LGBTQ ally, believe in better disability inclusion, and beyond token POC characters, this is definitely the podcast for you. So I hope you stay tuned for future podcasts, but ta-ta for now.